is because he said he was watching, and which is why I also thought I don't want this to be a me channel, because it's not about me. It's just I've been showing you all the stuff with the property here because I haven't had an opportunity to go out to, you know, Tucker hasn't been available on his, so you know, so I'm just trying to kind of fill gaps here. And he said he was watching, oh, Tucker Be Busy. And you'll notice I finally started like labeling them or giving them like a tagline. I guess it's, I don't know where it's from, but you can type it in. So I changed those just saying update and the date, because that's kind of boring. And then the other one was like, oh, Jello anyone? And it's not a fan favorite. It's not a person. Look, it filled me up as a kid, and it cheaply solved my sweet tooth, just like Kool-Aid in the package. So he said he was watching it, which kind of then set off a chain reaction with me. And he said I couldn't help but cry. And now this is a kid who doesn't cry. So at some point, well, we'll bring him on, and we'll make that happen at some point. Maybe one of the times when he's out. He doesn't like being on camera, so it probably won't happen. I'll have to probably be sneaky, and he's a lawyer, so he'll probably sue my ass. Anyway, real quick, and so that brought to mind about how you deal with separation. And we all are, this thing is going to annoy the hell out of me. It's slippery as heck. Is how you deal with separation in as positive way as possible, because I think separation is probably one of the toughest things. I think it's something that sends so many people into, you know, spiral downward into depression and things like that. I think it has me, and again, I only speak from myself and from my experience. I don't speak for anybody else. I don't speak medically, clinically. I speak maybe metaphysically. Possibly. I'd like to think it's realistically. Anyway, and I'm going to forget my train of thought when I go off on tangents. And so, we all go through it, whether it's, and I don't mean separation by a death, and I guess what brought it home was just that. It is hot out here, so I'm going to sneak some water. It's not hot, it's very warm. I hope the sheriff's going out. Just went by. And my son said to me a couple of weeks ago, actually, he said, actually right after when he first told me. Now the old me, because everybody knows I'm on this journey, but the old me would have been that spiral person. I would have gone downhill. I'd have been mopey. I'd have been resentful. I would have been passive aggressive. I might have been pissed off. It's like, well, you know, I'm not gonna speak. You know, I get gotten petty and all that bullshit, which I think we tend to do way too quickly. You know, we kind of default to that sometimes, and I just don't think that's healthy. So he said, you know, I'm really proud of you, Dad, how you, and again, I can talk about this topic just because from my perspective as an old person and a father, you know, if Tucker were here, because that's also a topic we'd like to talk about, and I know you'd like to talk about it, and we'll revisit it, but it'll obviously be more about him, you know, but this just came up, and I just think it's too important to just let it pass by, and so I just hope you're not getting totally bored. That is a static. I tend to think better on my feet if I'm doing something. My sons will tell you, like, yeah, when you're on the phone, you just like pace up and back. Yeah, welcome to ADHD world, folks. Um, so that made me reflect on like, wow. So Mark, why are you able to, like, how are you able to be more positive now? I mean, because I'm never gonna be perfect. I mean, you don't think I've had my crying moments? I mean, you don't think see, I'll start to cry, but yeah, it's hard. So, sorry. It'll get real. Yeah. So, and I just thought to myself when he told me, because it was out of the blue, this wasn't something that I was expecting. I think I mentioned I had some inkling of it, you know, or just some passing thought. You know, I thought, yeah, I can see that happening. And maybe subconsciously that's why I ended up buying this place, because I knew that, you know, the situation wasn't going to stay the same, and I might as well be proactive and make it as a positive experience as possible for myself. And voila, you know, I got the real back 40, and I love it. I'm so freaking busy, very different from the winters. So I thought to myself, first of all, what good does it do? Well, first of all, he's an adult, and so this is a specific type of separation. So hopefully you can relate to it, or kind of file it away and benefit from it later on. If we cut out, maybe I'll do a second part on Wednesday if we don't meet. You know, as a precursor to Wednesdays if we don't meet. And so, because it will overheat, and I don't know what to do about it. And so I could flip out. Anyway. I just figured like that is such. How much time have I wasted flipping out, getting pissed off, getting angry, getting annoyed? You know, like if it doesn't go my way, you know, narcissistic. That is such wasted energy, folks. And it does nothing but to compound the negativity. And so, you know, obviously I did do my 2 years of therapy, which I felt were very successful. And if you want, and you're in that state, I will, I'm happy to recommend him. He's really, really amazing, because I'm not easy to figure out. Hey, I finally got the line for the weed whacker. God, I go through this line, folks. Anyway, I know, here, I get off tangent again. And so he's an adult. He is 34. Really? Like, why am I going to care about his business? Not care, but why am I going to get into his business? Why am I going to get all, like, put out of shape or anything if he has to make a life decision for himself? It's his life. It's not my life. You know, do I care? Of course I care. He used to be 1.5 miles away from me. We were 1.5 miles apart. Now we're like 3,000. It's a bit of a difference, folks, right? This isn't like move down the street or move to the next town over. You know, it's some shit, man. You know, emotionally, and this is my eldest, and you know, we're very close. Not that my younger one and I are, but you know, I kind of feel like the firstborn sometimes. It's just a little bit different. Hey, microplastics. No, I can't do it. I just don't want it to get on the ground. So they'll never find it. Although it is neat. Oh, that's why it's neon. Oh, I just figured out why they make this stuff into like really bright neon colors. Like all of them. And I'm like, oh, there is white, but it's bright white. Anyway, and I was like, why are they always like these colors? You know, why can't they just like clear? Or black, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, but I think it's because a lot of times you get pieces of this stuff into the grass, and those are microplastics. I mean, that's not good for any kind of creatures, you know, like deer eating on the grass, and they'll take in the plastics, and so They're all these little bits, but then they're also the pieces like this big. And it's easy to spot. You could just walk along your grass, and it's easy to spot. And now that I've cut off that frayed part, I should be able to thread the needle. So, what the heck is blocking it? Oh, there we go. My bad. Sorry. I was also very impatient. I always notice when I get impatient. It's really hard for me to not get impatient. And I did this wrong. Did I do this wrong? No, not necessarily. So I took the tactic of, okay, this is the news he told me. Obviously, there's nothing I can do about it. I took a moment, because normally I just like speak, much to my chagrin. And there goes a runner. God, she's a brave soul. God bless her, especially in the heat. And I'm not gonna get all bent out of shape. I should have been counting 2, 4, 5, 6. I think I did 8 last time. 7. Ow. 8. And 1 to grow. Maybe too much. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Sorry. And so, look, he's got to lead his life. They helped me so much, and I think I've talked about this. I think there's a picture that I posted in the, I don't know, I guess it's called community. I don't know if it's a wall. I don't know what the hell it is. Anyway, you can check out this photo there of my school picture from 2016 and 2020. Yes. So 2016 is this side. And most people say it doesn't even look like the same person. And I take that as a hell of a compliment. So they got me on that journey, folks. I mean, that's just huge. I mean, I owe my sons everything. Anyway, so I took it really hard. I was really bummed out. At 64, I'm gonna be set adrift. We had this whole plan. Anyway, and that's fine. And I think a lot of people in my generation would react differently, unfortunately. And hopefully some people may be able to benefit from this. And I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I'm trying to find the other end. This gall darn thing. Oh, there it is. Is Shnikes. There you are. I'm sorry. Let me just match these up. That's how I get the lengths even. By the way, might as well get this lesson in. I know, I'll go back to it. Don't worry. I probably won't. I'll try not to forget. So then it's a way of, I don't have to measure it. It's going to just come out evenly, see? So because I started with them even, it's just like threading a needle. I did a great job this morning. Oof. It was like cutting through butter. Anyway, so then I can do this pretty much blindfolded by now. Okay. And I thought, okay, so how can I turn this into a positive? And okay, well, I've got to change my living situation. Okay, what are you going to do? Well, we know a month later, literally, actually less than a month later, I closed on this place. And you just never know if you can do it until you ask and try. Go for it. If you want to know how I was able to do it, I'm happy to if you message me on that thingy or email, or Gmail, positivelypeninsula at gmail.com. We have the Gmail for that. Happy to answer, give information like that. I don't know if I really want to do it publicly, but at this point. But anyway, happy to share the word, spread the wealth. No, spread the word, share the wealth. So I took, it's that whole lemons to lemonade thing, that whole blah 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 little riddle, or whatever it is, adage. I guess it's an adage. Let me just put this in because he will definitely come undone. Okay, and you really have to take a moment and think about your reaction, because it could change the whole relationship, the whole dynamic with your child. And I think we have a fantastic relationship. Not that there haven't been ups and downs, yada yada, but anyway. So I just had to flip a switch. Sometimes you just need to bite the friggin' bullet and just flip the switch and be the bigger person, and just, it's not like he's 10. That's a totally different scenario. He's 34, and he's got his own life, and he's got a wife, and 2 really cute-ass cats. They're not kittens anymore now, cats. Really cute ones, Coffee and Bean. Anyway, so I think you just have to get over yourself. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about that person or that individual or that situation. It has nothing to do with you. Just appreciate that I guess maybe a little more lead. Well, I didn't have lead time because I didn't know at that point. I didn't know how soon it would be. This, they told me beginning of August of last year, and I closed on this place beginning of September of last year. And so it was like the 8th to the 8th. And so they just decided to do the move, I don't know, maybe just a couple of months ago. So that's the only thing, is stuff happened very quickly once they kind of started. I think they felt that they'd have a lot more time. Twas not to be, and that's fine. But you know what? It was almost better by not having all that extra time to kind of like stew and sit negatively and let it just grow into a bigger thing than it need be. Just move on. And when your son tells you that, or whoever it is tells you, you know what, thank you so much, or I really appreciate that, or I love you so much, or thank you, but, and and it's great that you're doing this channel, and because now that, and I'll be out, when you have a surgery, I'll be out, yada yada. So in a sense, maybe it can strengthen it. And I always have to be positive and think about that. That's, to me, that's what the outcome is going to be. At least that's my desired outcome. And, we'll see what happens. But, make the best of a bad situation. Because separation is never easy, whether it's by death or move or divorce. Ooh, divorce is a tough one. Oh, maybe I should have talked about divorce, because Tucker hasn't been married, so he would really be able to contribute much. Although his parents, I think, got divorced. Yeah, his parents got divorced, so he could talk about it from a kid's perspective. Unfortunately, I could speak about it from both child and adult. So my guess is that this thing is going to cut out very shortly. So this is Mark out at Positively Peninsular, and I'm sorry that I went on, but this will be the final whatnot, because I do need to get to work again. It's getting to be that time, and you can see the shadows are creeping in. You can see my sneakers. I washed them all, and so they are going to be clean and smell good for at least a little while. But those never go in. Well, no, those actually are my indoor ones. But I have a, this is how crazy it is, folks. I have a, those are my indoor pair for this door, for the sliding doors. And then I have the pair that I have on are my indoor pair for the front door area. And I have a pair of sandals at each post, a pair of sneakers, and well, in this case I have the boots, my winter boots here, or like wet boots, and then I have at the other door I have my like rough terrain gardening shoes. Anyway, so you can see that the shadows are coming in. I added a couple of Irish Spring bars from the last video, and you can see I just have a ton of work ahead of me. Gotta do that pond. Anyway, I'm sorry I put you on the bat guano container, but I don't think you got contaminated at all. It's supposed to be the super thing. This is the one I use. Earth Safe Organics Bat Guano, 8:3:1. That's, I don't know what those elements are. Anyway, so I won't do anything again. Let me just think of what else that I learned from. And this isn't stuff from therapy. It's not even like things that, like tools or strategies from therapy for how to deal with separation. And you think, well, you know, like, Mark, why are you being such a baby about it? You know, you're a grown up, you're an old person, you shouldn't, you know what? It just depends on the situation and the person. I mean, you know, I think you have to be either have a terrible relationship with your kid or just be a really horrible, nasty, inhuman person, which I guess wouldn't make you a person. So if you were inhuman, you know, and, I think I've been a monster enough to where, you know, I find like positivity. I'm saving time. I'm saving energy. I think I'm probably adding. It's interesting because they have this special stoplight down that the maintenance department has to at the train trestle. They've been working on this since I've been up here, since I moved up here. So I don't know how long it's gonna take, but so it's been down to one lane since I can remember, and they used to have a flagger, and that was pretty quick. But then they put in a three-way, because it's like a three-way intersection, and so they put in this light, and it's timed. It runs on gasoline, so they fill it like every Monday or something like that. And like the main road, this one that you hear here, the main road out there is it has two directions that are affected by it. So it's a three-way, and then you have a cross street coming off into this street. And the problem is it's timed. So each light is literally 5 minutes. So now that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine, because depending on the time of day. So like at night, at 2 a.m, you're gonna sit there for 5 minutes. It doesn't register. Anyway, yeah, positivity, Mark. Positivity, Mark. It just cracks me up. I guess at that point I'd probably just go through it. Although you really can't see around, so it's kind of dangerous. Although at night you would hopefully see a light. So I guess in summation, So the point is you'll get these spurts of traffic, and so that's what that was. All that motorcycle, and then like 3 or 4 cars, because it's a Sunday. Normally, you don't really see that many, except at commuter time. You know, at the commute. So. I just lost my train of thought. So that's the sound you heard. So I think just as a rule